So what's the plan? Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now. Sure thing, Captain.
I find myself marveling at the Something vexing you, Captain?
Purpleberry Punch. You'd like punch? You take your punch.
Is it just me, or is Groundbreaker feeling extra chilly? Maybe you ought to help yourself to I'm bound to satisfy Headgear. Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated. I can see all of the top-quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this. Sprat wash, mouthwash, and Mantafloss. Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down. The blast will send you through the stratosphere and the crap. Add an additional 10%. At Spacer's Choice, we have a look.
Sorry, can't do that.
fucking base? Yeah.
This is not necessary. A hard rider for a hard life.
Nicely done. There it is. Burned it up. Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on... I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authorities? Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. Was a bit of a long shot, wasn't it? I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in contemplation of the universe's secrets, you sometimes get a sense for these things.
Did you bring me anything? New parts? Last weekend's crossword puzzle? Preferably not already filled out.
Hey, Captain. I hope I wasn't too much bother at the bar. I did have fun. Some of the drinks we tried I even liked. I guess it's not all disgusting. And I don't feel it today. I guess that water must have worked. I'm glad. I wouldn't mind having a drink again. Someday. In the distant future. Anyway. I messaged Junlei when we got back and she replied super quick. Okay. I was awake half the night, thinking about what I sent, anxious to see what you said. I reread my message in the morning, and it was unclear. I was drinking when I sent it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the courage. Also, sorry for the typos. I've ruined things in the past because I didn't say things I should have, like, I've met someone who's become special to me. I want to be honest with her, so if she feels the same about me, there won't be any surprises. Oh, isn't she sweet? Like one of those 2-bit romances where one soul's all stiff and formal and, I should be glad to perhaps take hold of your hand, miss. I ought to go write her back. I mean...
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
Hey, hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna and halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even going to give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of it. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-roaders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fall. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up... But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
Ah, the nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that side. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet... Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe... I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tosswell poster coming in on the next sublight shipment. Signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Miss...
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock feels...
Wrapped mask and painted eyes, right here.
Please, will someone help me? Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is Don't you tell me to calm down. I promise. He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about...
Oh, law, Captain. The youngster won't last...
Please, won't you go and find my boy? He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't... I warned him. He should have listened. Thank you. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from...
Could I get another... Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us... Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings, whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet... Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skin pop... Sorry. Have you talked to Sebastian yet? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man. I still don't know anything about it. But I'll warn you.
Well, new biz... Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very...
No.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Halcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for salt tuna. Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this.
Seems like you're having a rough time.
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic... I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection. We've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan.
On our terms.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them...
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's a two-pronged approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be...
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance. In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information.
Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload sell tuna shipments at the cannery.
The trick is not to breathe through your nose.
Here they come! Heads down. Hunker down, Cap!
Hold on to your hats, children. This ride is about to get ugly.
You reckon the smell ever goes away? Maybe the wind off the sea helps. Here they come!
anger a man of the cloth. Well done. We're still alive.
Hey, Mr. Vicar, do you ever get a little bit homesick for Edgewater? For that ocean stink?
No, I do not.
You're supposed to say yes, and go on to explain why. I just want to have a conversation.
Trouble checking in? Or you might need directions to the amenities? If you're locked out of your cabin, a replacement key costs 50 bits. No reservation? No problem. Day trippers are always welcome in our saloon. Straight back and to the right. Check in with Ms. Malin. She'll set you straight. I am here to anticipate and... Guess it's true. Fallbrook really is the best-kept secret in all of Monarch, excepting the Borst Factory's secret ingredient. We're a leisurely stopover for the more adventurous spacefaring traveler. Understand? Swell. We like quick-on-the-draw types like you. Saloon is straight back and to the right. Once you're feeling sated, you're welcome to a private cabin. Only $250 a night. Ms. Malin can let you one if you're interested. She's the one who runs this rack.
Oh, well, this is certainly a town, I think.
Only thing worse than the swill they're selling is the service.
What are you looking at?
For the price, I expected a larger cot.
For the price, I expected a larger cot.
Want to make a run with me to Stella Bay?
This is Reginald's stuff, all right, but it looks like he's not home. Sounds like Cheney's gone gold panning down on the river.
House with a strange family.
Guess even scholars need to find ways to make ends meet in exile.
One on them?
Yep. Oddest thing. They started ordering cans of Forstwurst, but only if they come from the CMP factory.
Uh-huh. You blind, little bird? Or can you not see I'm busy? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout awful friendly? Welcome to Fallbrook. Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land. Like a void damn advert.
Oh, she just comes and says whatever's on her mind, huh?
Truthfully spoken, I do aim to properly represent my aforementioned nugget of paradise. You know, I ain't heard that one before. Suppose I'll have to work harder to show you just what makes our town shine. But first, I'll need... Well, I'm half listening. If it's one that don't mind getting dirty, then I sure do. But how am I to know whether you're reliable, if not fully trustworthy? I do admire blunt honesty, so I'm willing to give a business arrangement between us a try. There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. Clive Lundberg, insufferable prick. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. I want it. Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid fucker who's gonna get it for me. If you got brass knockers, you could shoot your way through the front gate. If you don't, might be another way in, assuming you're courageous enough to trek the sewers. Void if I know. Hit him where it hurts. In his gut or his production lines ought to make... Then I'd say you might care to poison the cysty pigs, doctor a few financial records, or throw a wrench in the canning machinery. It'll be more than good when you're finished. Maybe not for Clive, but for me and you, I'm sure. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the Dry Goods and Sundry building. He ought to have... May luck be with...
Remind me never to get on Ms. Malin's bad side.
You know how their smoke are all crusty outside, but warm and squishy inside? I'm pretty sure she's crust all the way through.
Take a gander at that mug. I ain't ever seen someone so adept-looking my whole life.
Well, that's awfully kind of you, mister.
I get the sense this fellow isn't entirely sincere.
Oh, now, come on. You don't seem like the usual pigeons we ploy. Say, I'd like to do you a favor. Might I interest you in a surefire scheme? Wink, wink. Don't believe I did. No? Wink. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats. See? I know a fellow. Too right you are. Only problem is, as I was saying, you look... In return, I'll cut you 5% of the profit. Was that sarcasm? I'm going to assume it was not. If it's sarcasm, you've got to show it somehow, like with a wink. My sprat carriers scurry back and forth through the shipping tunnels. Got the goods? 'Cause I know... Hit me. I won't even hit back. Sure.
My dry goods come 75... No rubbernecking. Not so fast. The biometric IDs are special goods. Only on offer to special clients. You cotton? She needs it for a job? Well, why didn't you say so? Reckoned you asked her where to best procure one, and she obligingly pointed you my way. Give me a jiffy to break. I mean, calibrate the ID. This goes like that. That'll do it. Careful. I'm trusting you to guard this specialty good with your life. I mean it. Lose the ID and you don't get another. Will that be all, or do you require something?
Always imagined Falbert would be...
Oh gosh, this is so pretty. Here they come!
That's the last.
What do you want? Haven't you heard? Everyone's welcome here. It's a fucking worker's paradise. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Never worked a day in your miserable life. You're just a parasite, living off my goodwill. Well, guess what? My goodwill's exhausted, along with my temper. This is the guy who told me about the book while we were in prison. I lied about finding a scholar. But I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to inflict massive amounts of pain on this guy. Oh, he knew. Didn't you? Didn't you?
Okay, I admit it. I was tired of your high and mighty speechifying all the time. It was just a joke, I swear. I didn't mean nothing by it.
See, Captain? I've dealt with this swine before. I know how he thinks. Now, where were we?
Wait!
It's too late for that. I threw away my life chasing fairy tales. Will punishing you fix any of that? Of course. Okay.
It was stolen from some sort of expert on philosophism. Weird hermit lady on Scylla. My father used to deliver supplies to the mining outpost there.
I don't think so.
It's true. My father collected some extra bits on the side by diverting some of the supplies to the way he told it, he thought the book looked valuable, so he took it. Couldn't find any buyers when it turned out to not only be French...
Fine. But got more important things to do anyway. I want to thank you for talking some sense into me back there with Cheney. It has been a long time since I gave in to my violent enthusiasm. You're right. I owe you an apology. I've been so obsessed for so long, I couldn't see anything else. You offered me a place on your crew, friendship, and I used you to get to Cheney. And even then, you saved me from myself. You owe me nothing, I know, but I'm begging your forgiveness. Thank you. I promise I'll be nothing but truthful from this point forward. Oh, exactly as you'd imagine. Can't say I enjoyed the stint. It did provide me with plenty of time to think. The way I see it, the universe was snapping me back to where I needed.
They do not produce derelict entertainment such as this on the
Can I help you? Don't think we've spoken before. I would remember. You look, well, most of the freshies spend their first day in the saloon. Fresh to Fallbrook, I mean. I'm real friendly. Figure I've talked up everyone in town by now. But not you yet. Every day I've been here has been my lucky day. Aside from a close call during my wilderness hike, it's been a grand adventure. I'm dreadful blessed that Captain... You heard that right. Wilderness almost got me pushing up daisies. If I wasn't so fleet-footed, I never would have escaped them Raptidons, then Marauders, and then that Mantiqueen alive. To outrun him, I had to ditch my bag. All the bit cards from my winnings were weighing it down. A shame, because it was my favorite gun tote. You wouldn't have heard of them. They're just a small pot of smugglers. Kept getting their spoils stolen, so they hired on a merc. They didn't mind my being so talkative, or that Captain Criley, he does ask me to shut it sometimes. In fact, I probably shouldn't be. Look for the horns and you can't miss it. Even I saw them when we... Massive curved stone peaks, if you want to get technical. They're a part of the... Right then. Very well.
You seen Arthur today?
Something you need? He seems like a nice boy to me. I'm glad you gave him a shot. Yeah, but... I mean, sure, he's a bit rough around the edges. I bet he just needs somebody to... That's...
On your back, Captain.
I'll fix you right up!
Here's a little trick I learned in prison. That's the last of them. Sometimes violence is the only way.
Get past that order!
smell here is 100% right.
Ah, you must be a part of the new law. A lost card's worth 2 infractions, you know. You know, I think I did hear something about that. Alright, okay.
A busy worker is a happy worker.
Huh? What's going on? Like I don't know what that means. Not only no, but void now. I quit. And he can keep my final paycheck.
Halt, searching. Error. Employee information not found. Identify yourself. Error. Paradox protection protocols have prevented me from registering your stated identification. Error. Paradox prevention has temporarily disabled this unit's auditory processing. Thank you. sister before. Unexpected.
Here they come.
Wow. Like I don't...
Processing. Investigate. Crime alert. Error. Employee information not error. Error.
Whoa now. And just what do you figure you're doing up here? These are my private quarters, friend. I don't allow tours up here. I don't allow tours ever on deeper consideration. Certain things require a mess to do well. See, I was just killing some time. I prefer to prepare my dinner. I do own a factory known for specializing in the canning of Borstwurst. Did you fancy me a cannibal? Perish the thought. No, I don't eat the bodies. So, what?
Captain, I would caution that we tread carefully through the remaining morass of this encounter.
While I approve of your associate, let us move forward with the present proceedings. By sublight, you... Listen, friend. The Borst King of Monarch does not negotiate with coveters. How about you bring me Catherine's severed... You desire that I should lower myself to Catherine's level of craft? The king built this golden monopoly brick by brick from the rubble when the corpse abandoned Monarch. According to... No, I don't see the advantage to me. But never mind. Never... Listen, friend. The Borst King... See that you do, friend. See that betwixt her shoulder blade, you desire that I should lower myself to... Never mind.
As always, anything you'd like to discuss?
Where are we headed?
Have you handled it? 'Cause betwixt her you the king build this golden monopoly brick by brick. Never mind.